Protoman and Protoretro, and this is a video review of TFcon's exclusive Garrison, one of 100 made at our awesome convention. So, let's do this.
Protoretro.
So here he is in all his splendid awesomeness, Garrison. Now Garrison was our second TFcon exclusive, our first one being Shafter, and our third one being the PEX Shadow Bat. Garrison was a exclusive that pretty much was birthed from a lot of situations and concepts. Pretty much last year we had Stronghold, who was a pretty much turn your onslaught into Fortress Maximus. And then at BotCon Texas, Mega Toy fan got the heads and essentially had a upgrade set for your Brave Maximus, which is Fortress Maximus in Robots in the Skies. He was called Brave Maximus in Car Robots, the 2000 mold essentially. So HeadRobots approached us with the concept of, let's do a Grand Maximus homage, and that's what Garrison is. But when I was going to write the bio for this, I thought to myself, well, probably not a lot of people at TFcon, actually, if I probably had to take a wild guess, maybe only 3 people at TFcon own a Grand Maximus. So it would almost be kind of a redundancy. But I thought then, why don't I do something similar to like what I did with Toxin and apply a mold to the head and create some character around it, but still not departing from his original intentions, which is that of the Grand Maximus storyline. And that's how Garrison was born. So let's crack this open and I'll get more into it. Now the Garrison set comes with a few things. It comes with head design number 1, head design number 2, a master sword which is compatible with both your original attempt with Fortress Maximus and this one. This is actually a story piece which we'll get to. And your bio card, which fleshes out the character, which I also gave a little tease at his intended body that you would have, which was Heat, and that he was a truck. I'm surprised not a lot of people caught on to that one, because there's no headmasters that turn into trucks. So, just like all the head robots that kind of go with that same concept like Hardhead, they have the detachable headmaster ports, so that they still are functional, here we go, with that onslaught mold. So you could still use it for that if necessary. But a lot of people probably already used their onslaught for this right here. So I always kept that in mind, but it's an option if you need to consider it. Now, how it was that you got these 2 heads here. The way I wrote it was that this was his original head when he came to Earth. His original body, if you will. Garrison, also known as Grand or Grand Max. When he landed on Earth, Grand Battle Max, or Grand Station, the original name, was supposed to give him a pretender body when he was on Earth, just like I was intended in the Master Force story. But instead, gave him this, his second body, which would be the more familiar one that we know. Now, I also wanted it that, because fictionally in Generation 1, Grand Maximus is not really a fighter but a scientist, I wanted it that, well, if he's a scientist, he probably has some body that he uses to move around in, you know. So I decided, what is the cheapest of the Headmaster Juniors? And well, I don't expect anyone to run out and get a Nightbeat mold. And Sirens also is pretty expensive. But Hosehead, you can get as cheap as $10 to $25 like this. A junker. No head, no guns, no accessories, no helmet, just the Hosehead. And with that, you could use him. What's cool also about Hosehead is that you could also kind of store the head there if necessary, but that's kind of stretching. So, let me just take a second one here to give you an example. I'll just take this out. Mine's a little tight because this is a perfect one. He had the sword, and using the Headmaster piece, he pops right in there. Very tightly. It's all brand new, this stuff, so. Articulated the head, which is really cool, and he has his weapon. So you have the comic book interpretation of Garrison, also known as Grand Maximus's pretty much pursuit form. Read the comic online, you'll see how the story works with these other two in the back, but this was our exclusive. So if you got a chance to pick him up, he's probably floating around on eBay right now, so best bet with that. So this is Protoman of Protoretro, and this is a video review of TFcon's 2012 second exclusive, Garrison. So until then, guys, roll out.